Now, over the years, healing, I've been doing this for more than 5 years now. Something I've come to realize is that I still sympathize with narcissists. So before you come at me, okay, be very patient. I'm going to explain to you what's going on here. I still sympathize with them. And for me, it doesn't really matter who it was. Okay? It was a family member, it was a friend relationship. I sympathize with them, and I'll tell you why. I want you guys to process this in your mind. You wake up every single day. So if you start to process this in your mind, ladies and gentlemen, that you have to wake up every single day wearing a mask. Just put it in your mind. Just even for a second. Think about it. You wake up every single day with a mask. The next day wear a different mask. The other day wear a different mask. I want you to tell me, ladies and gentlemen, what kind of life are you living? What kind of life do you think you're living? So I've continued to engage with different narcissists, the ones I've dealt with over the years. Every now and then, not often, every now and then, we have a message. I run into them. Hello, it's okay. How are you doing? How do you feel? We go separate ways. And then I notice that thing that they used to hold me onto them, it was broken. So that's when you know that you've healed the trauma bond. Okay? Let me find a place to sit. I like sitting in the grass. Maybe somewhere here. Let us sit here. Whew. Where? This direction? I have healed. Okay? And after healing, I run into these people and I continue to confirm how unhealed they are. And I know they will never heal. That is who they are going to be, because we know this thing is spiritual. That's what they are going to be forever. Just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Just think about it. For all of you guys who think that these people, and you see, one of the mistakes that these people something these people don't understand. These people don't realize that we feel sorry for them. You know? They don't realize that we feel sorry for them. We take time to sit back and think, so look at this person is a narcissist. That is who they are going to be. When they wake up, they're wearing a mask. They live all throughout their life deceiving, lying, manipulating, cheating, gaslighting, blaming everybody for everything. So, and you have time to hate on that person? Really? Ladies and gentlemen, healing is very necessary. Healing is very important. You have to heal. Because When you see these narcissists, the way they treat us, they think that we are their enemies. Okay, spiritually, we understand whatever is going on, the battle and everything. I've talked about that. But they continue to think that we are actually their enemies. Yes, we don't like darkness. We fight against darkness. But on the physical, when you start to see these things, even from a physical perspective, you stop to look at it in that way where you think this person is your enemy. You know, personally, if I didn't understand narcissistic abuse, I wouldn't have evolved. I wouldn't have awakened. Maybe there was a different way to awaken, but I wouldn't be here teaching you all these things, ladies and gentlemen. You see? Now I'm looking back and I'm saying that, okay, I'm grateful. This was an experience, but now I've awakened from it and I can finally find out who I am. We don't hold anything against these people. They don't understand this. Me, I see them and I'm just looking at this child. You know, when you see these narcissists and the image they always try to put out to the people. So you see this little child, very helpless. The small little child crying out for help. And you really think that I'm going to heal and I will be continuing to hate on that child or something like that. You see, that is the thing with awareness. The moment you wake up one day and you become aware, you start becoming aware and you understand what abuse is, what narcissism is, you'll never see life the same. So we don't hold anything against these people. They hold something against us because you are at a frequency that they can never attain. Because you are empath, you can feel things. You can love genuinely. You can authentically be yourself. You can say what is on your mind without having to manipulate or lie to anybody else. You are at a frequency that they can never comprehend. So that is where this hatred keeps on coming in, because now they don't know what to do with you. Because you're the complete opposite of who they are. You know? These people abandoned themselves many, many years ago. They abandoned themselves completely. You have never abandoned yourself. So they have this grudge against you because you are naturally at a frequency that they can only dream about. So it's why sometimes you meet these people and they start mirroring you. They're copying you, they mirror you, they start to copy your personality, they start to copy your traits because they are trying to be like you, you know? A lot of these people we hear talking about the copycats, a lot of those people are narcissists, by the way. A copycat is a narcissist. I'm going to do a whole video on this one. A copycat is a narcissist. If a person who adopts your entire style, speech, personality, swag, identity, signature, that person is a narcissist. So that is why you see they are copying everything that you do. A person who has got his own unique identity and signature, they don't need to copy anything. They can wake up and just be their truest, authentic self without having to borrow some signature from somewhere or to borrow somebody's identity. They can do it without hassle. The copycat is the opposite. So if you're a person that is on their way of healing, their journey to heal, the message is very simple and unique. You continue your journey of awareness and understand, learn what narcissistic abuse is, okay? Understand, overstand, understand. Educate yourself. Work on healing and breaking trauma bonds. You are going to realize that this thing was never personal. So sometimes you hear me telling you things like, this thing is not personal. Because now I understand what I was dealing with. It's not personal, ladies and gentlemen. It was personal back in the days when you didn't know what it was. You wasn't aware. Now, you know what it is. You understand it isn't personal. It was just a battle for energy, battle for fuel. That's what it was. Battle for your energy. You know, you was just dealing with some people who were like vampires, energy vampires, and the only way they could thrive was siphoning your energy, but they have to do this because you didn't know, you wasn't aware. You can never find a narcissist dating an aware empath. It's not possible. If you're an aware empath and you're dating a narcissist, you have a lot of work to do. If you're an aware empath, awakened one, you're dating a narcissist, you have so much work to do. The first thing the narcissist will find out is how much do you know. The moment they understand that you know everything, they're going to be on the run. They will not stay in the vicinity. They will disappear because they cannot deal with your energy. You see, that's the thing. What I'm trying to say, guys, you have to understand. Listen, these people and you are the complete side. You're on the complete opposite side of the spectrum. You're an empath and you're dealing with somebody who is a narcissist. You're not the same people. You have emotional maturity. You have a conscience to understand and take accountability for some of those things you will do or say. You're dealing with somebody who doesn't have anything of the sorts. A person that does not have empathy. They cannot feel, they cannot understand the language you're speaking is very foreign to them. They don't even know what you're saying. So how can you wake up one day and start hating on that kind of individual when you already know that you're dealing with an empty vessel, you're dealing with a small child? How can you wake up and hate on that individual? It's not possible. You can only do that hatred when you're still, in the initial stages, you're still figuring things out. Yes, it's understandable, but when you wake up and understand what it is, you let it go. And a lot of these things I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, I know because a lot of narcissists, they do not realize we hold nothing against them. Gang stalking, this, abuse, and what, and you just try to think about that energy, and you're wondering in your mind how a person wake up, and the only thing they have to do is to pump out that kind of energy. So they will never understand that we don't hate them. For me, I don't know what it is for you, but for me personally, ladies and gentlemen, I've told you even until now, I still run into them, the ones that I've dealt with over the years, and I still see them the same people they used to be, even sometimes getting worse. And I realized that it wasn't personal. And that was the moment to release and let it go, and let it go. So you can wake up and you can walk out of the door genuinely, authentically, organically. A narcissist cannot do that. And you do really think a person is going to be living a normal life when they have to wake up every single day wearing a mask. It cannot happen, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand. It's not personal. It was personal, we didn't know. But as you understand it, what it is, it's not personal. Release them, but ladies and gentlemen, you are dealing with little children. You're dealing with immature kids in an adult body. They will never process things the way you do. They will never understand what you're saying. They will never meet you at your level of emotional intelligence. It is not possible because they're not there. So when you understand these things, you can now protect yourself better. But then you understand the people that you're dealing with. It wasn't personal. You release them, you let them go. Father, mother, it doesn't matter who it was. Let them go. You was dealing with the same person. So let me not think about the video. You guys know I do love and appreciate the support. Please book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will see you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.